my lords. Today I bring you several reports from across the galaxy, and we shall also touch on the new Planet Killer Colossus class weapon, codenamed the Smelter. But first, we visit the planet Volcaris 2, where our scientists have detected regular radio wave spike from a single point on the planet's surface. These appear to coincide with the time at which the source of the signal crosses from night into day. Dr. Sanders investigates. My team and I arrived planetside to track down this anomalous signal. It didn't take long to isolate the origin, an underground cave network fitted with scientific observation equipment, and none of it was human. I led the descent myself. Deep within the cavern we found a chamber sealed behind unfamiliar alloy. The metal was humming with a faint, irritating ringing, and it reminded me of the tinnitus noise after a firearm discharges, only this time it was patterned or deliberate. I ordered that the team and I don our audio protective gear, and we began to force open the door's seal, and entered. Inside we discovered a creature of unknown and undoubtedly alien species, lying in a state of hibernation beside the source of the signal, a cylindrical device of unknown design. Initial analysis showed that the device emitted periodic radio bursts, and then shifted into several hours of melodic noise layered with vocalizations that matched the creature's atomical range. My working theory is simple. The device is designed to wake the creature on a fixed schedule, and it plays the ambient noise to help it sleep. This ambient noise, however, proved quite dangerous for us, as even through the protection, several of my team members began to suffer panic attacks, and one had an uncontrollable rage response. I noted the reactions for later review, but the priority remains unchanged. This device clearly has value. Several options were available to us. We could attempt to copy the device and leave, we could attempt to wake the creature, or we could attempt to simply steal the device and learn more about it back on the ship. Given the potential danger, we chose to steal the device and leave the alien to its fate. I'm told that the device will be repurposed and amplified even further to be used on one of our penal worlds. These worlds are largely filled with alien war criminals, and we think that they'll benefit from frequent reminders to get back to work. This will also ensure the whole planet works on a single time zone, and we believe will improve communication and efficiency between the alien teams, of course at the acceptable price of their happiness. It is perhaps, amusingly, the loudest alarm clock in the known galaxy. Next, my lords, I bring you the event detailed as lava sports. One might think individuals would not want to spend time near open, quick-moving lava flows. And at least on the newly colonized world of Rakun's Fall, one could be wrong. Colonists are racing utility hovercraft along active lava flows, dodging floating boulders and boosting themselves over lava falls. Others have begun gambling on the outcome of these races, and gambling dens have drawn interest of organised crime. A few pilots have even died in a variety of accidents. The colony has no laws against the practice, since it was never imagined anyone would do such a thing. We could embrace the colonists' enthusiasm and let they do as they please, but this may lead to ever more dangerous feats and a potential criminal component, as gambling events is already on the rise. Alternatively, we could regulate the sport, and while this may cause some grumbling, it should minimise death and crime in the long term. Or of course we could simply ban the sport outright, which would be effective, but likely unpopular and costly to enforce. We decided to let it flow, so to speak. Allowing the colonists to pursue the trend has generated a boom of excitement around lava sports. Images of pilots veering their hovercraft above lava flows are quickly becoming a symbol of Rakun's Fall local culture. Unfortunately, enthusiasm has eclipsed safety. We have sporadic reports of racing deaths that continue, and it appears criminal moneylenders are exploiting the gambling habits of lava sport enthusiasts. While public approval for the sport remains high, we should continue to monitor negative consequences in the future. We left the sport untouched for several more months. However, the criminal enterprise slowly became more of an issue, thus we sent in the regulators. While the committee felt happy enough to allow the dangerous sport, After all, competition absolutely breeds innovation. The negative aspect of crime could not be allowed to propagate. While the colonists initially resented the authorities coming in to regulate their beloved pastime, the new safety measures required on the racing craft have almost eliminated injuries and fatalities. Racing pilots are now speaking up about the benefits of the regulation to their own safety, which is bringing the public on board. Financial transparency and taxation have also been imposed on lava sports gambling, with proceeds going to safety outfitting for the racers. Criminal elements have mostly dispersed from the gambling dens, though some colonists complain that taxation by authorities is unjust. Probably the best outcome for Rackon's Fall. Moving on, this time to Draxilon Gamma 4, where a geological alert system warns that volcanic eruption near the main settlement is likely to occur within the next year. Investing in a controlled pressure release could allow the lava flow to be harnessed for energy production. Crews could also be put on standby to harvest magma directly from the eruption and strain it for precious metals. Alternatively, we could focus on evacuating civilians and supplies from the area to minimize the risk. We could of course also monitor the situation before committing to any action, just in case the predictions are inaccurate. The cost of establishing a controlled pressure release was in reality quite minor compared to the value of losing the colony. Therefore, we sent the engineering crews into work, and it was completed not a moment too soon. We were able to establish a safe system for slowly releasing pressurized lava from the underground chambers, passing it through power generators as it went. This resulted in a short-term boon to the colony's electrical grid, and when the volcano eventually erupted, we were able to control the flow using a combination of ultrasonic disruptors and physical barriers. This resulted in a large field of magma which was easily contained. Mining crews have already begun harvesting the mineral bounty, a serious win for Draxilon Gamma 4. The final event to discuss, my lords, concerns the pre-FTL species we discovered on Corvantis. Dr. Baker reports, "When my team and I first set foot on Corvantis, I expected the usual, another primitive species following the predictable beats of convergent evolution. Instead, what we found unsettled me more than I care to admit. The aliens' physiology, their rituals, and their iconography. Far too many elements mirrored figures from humanity's oldest myths. Some of my team immediately leapt to mystical explanations, which I thought was frankly idiotic, but even I couldn't deny this growing list of parallels. Every new sample, every translated glyph, every observation seemed to echo the same ancient story told long ago, before the Commonwealth existed. This really was a glimpse into humanity's past. I kept telling myself that this was all a coincidence, stacked on other coincidences, but the deeper we went, the harder that argument became. Curiosity surged within the team, and pressure to push the research further mounted. I knew perfectly well how thin the line would become between studying this pre-FTL world and contaminating it beyond repair. We got the order for deeper investigation, and everything began to unravel. My team, and I must take responsibility for this, got sloppy. In their excitement to prove the myth connection, they ignored many of the pre-FTL protocols that had been drilled into them since the Academy. Before long, the aliens were spotting our ships regularly enough to draw sketches of them. A scouting party even stole a crate of field equipment, and in one disastrous incident, a native hunting group captured one of our agents and dragged them off like a prized animal for study. The entire planet began to spiral. Some tribes treated the sightings as divine revelation, others assumed an alien invasion, and all of this chaos because my colleagues couldn't keep their imagination in check. Even worse, our discovery was leaked. Back home, civilians started treating this species like some sort of spiritual rediscovery, as though meeting them connected us with something primordial in our past. I felt it was embarrassing to watch. Irrationality spreads faster than any contagion. Eventually, I got control of my team, and we were able to actually analyze the data properly. The mythology theory fell apart. Yes, the similarities were indeed striking, and yes, the parallels were numerous, but there were several key differences that simply couldn't be reconciled. That alone should have ended the debate, but of course the narrative simply shifted. It soon became fashionable that these beings were the remnant population of whatever inspired our myths, and they'd been altered by several thousand years. It's a messy and of course it's completely unprovable hypothesis, but it comforts people, so I guess they cling to it. As for me, I recognise them for what they are, a primitive species caught in the crossfire of something scientific and human superstition. Whether the rest of the Commonwealth chooses to accept that is another matter entirely. My lords, I shall use the remainder of my time today to show you a new development in Colossus weapon technology, the Planet Killer Smelter class weapon. I have a demonstration of its firing sequence for you. This device focuses a searing energy beam into the planet's mantle. The smelter destabilizes its core, triggering tectonic chaos and rendering the surface violently unstable. Rather than cracking the planet, it sort of resets it to default, leaving a surface of molten mess. Uninhabitable for us, but creating an environment that one day we'll be able to turn back into a nice continental world, fit for habitation. Lovely.